Hello everyone, good morning, and thank you very much for joining once again a new publication of results of Latin NCAP. In this opportunity, we're going to be launching the second publication of the year. This is phase 12 of results of Latin NCAP. So in order to jump right into the results, we start with a video that you are familiar with already, announcing the cars we tested. In this opportunity is the Suzuki Baleno with 2 airbags made in India, the Toyota Yaris 2 airbags, sedan and hatch version made in Brazil and Thailand. Remember, Latin NCAP is testing the most basic safety spec available in the market. And so we have the list of cars in the screen. We're going to start right away with the first result. Suzuki Baleno was a 0-star result with poor performance, low scoring in adult, child, and a safety assist box as well. The car showed a poor performance in the side impact protection to the adults. You see now we're watching the frontal impact now at slow motion. The structure of the car was rated as stable, which is good. It's a very good baseline to develop further on the restraint systems in the car, which in our opinion could have been a little bit better. When it comes to the equipment of the car, it has standard ISOFIX connectors, but unlike other cases, when Latin NCAP is asking the manufacturers to recommend a child seat, in this case Suzuki, basically as it did with the Swift, they declined to recommend a child seat. As that happened, Latin NCAP is in charge of selecting or recommending its own child seats and install them for the test. In this case, with the child seats that Latin NCAP selected, the performance and protection was good, but unfortunately the manufacturer, as they didn't recommend the child seats, they wouldn't get the points of dynamic testing. That's the reason why the score is so low. We're watching the top view of the frontal impact. Now we're watching the real speed of the normal speed side impact, and now slow motion the side impact. Side impact in this car was showed a poor protection for the adults. To be more specific, the chest showed red color, basically no protection. This car do not have any side airbags as standard. This is amazing and not a very good surprise at this stage. Latin NCAP is not pleased with this action from the manufacturer. Side impact protection is one of the main things we wanted to highlight and promote in these new protocols. Side impact for the child occupants was good, and also door opening and the side impact. Also remember, it's a high risk, exposing the occupants to high risks. This vehicle also was tested, and we are going to watch it right now in the whiplash, or basically a rear impact. The vehicle in rear impact could not accredit good structure stability in the rear impact, therefore the whiplash points are 0. For the pedestrian safety, this vehicle scored, I would say, an acceptable average result, but still not brilliant. The car, in our opinion, should have other technologies like autonomous emergency braking systems, which can actually detect vulnerable road users and eventually stop at the right time. Toyota Yaris, result was 1 star, and with a low result for adults and the safety assist box. This is the first time Toyota is getting such a low score in Latin NCAP. We are watching now the frontal crash test. Remember that this car was tested in 2019, front and side crash tests. And at that time, the structure was rated as unstable, as well as the footwell area of this car was rated as unstable. At that time, the manufacturer decided to put both child occupants rearward facing, and it gave a very good, right away, a very good result and a very good outcome, with very good protection in the front and side impact for the adults. This car does not have any side curtain airbags as standard, neither side body airbags or side curtain airbags, which is something that we highlight. And as this is not equipment that comes standard, Latin NCAP cannot test it and consider it in the assessments. This car was actually audited. And by the time we audited this vehicle, we run the side impact test, and during the side impact test, one of the doors opened. And also that actually explained one of the reasons of the low score of the vehicle. The other thing is that the detection of the passenger side seatbelt reminder did not work. That means that the seatbelt reminder alarm did not work on the passenger side, which was something that we understood that the manufacturer would have fixed already for all the vehicles worldwide. And of course, as it's not there, they also lost points or lose points there, and also the door opening that we are watching now in the video. And we now move into the whiplash testing, or the rear impact protection. The whiplash testing, the car could accredit structural stability on the rear impact. On the whiplash testing, the car got marginal protection levels. When it comes to pedestrian protection, the car offered a reasonable average good protection, but still the vehicle needs other technologies like, for example, autonomous emergency braking systems, in order to detect earlier the vulnerable road users, or like for example pedestrians, and brake on time to prevent any kind of injuries to the pedestrians. We are watching now the electronic stability control, which was tested once again after we tested it in 2019, just to check that everything is performing according to the first test. And yes, the vehicle performed well. We also performed the Moose test, which is a test a little bit beyond the regulatory ESC test, and the car performed well, but the speeds that could reach were not the highest ones. So as a summary of results, we have the Suzuki Baleno with 0 stars, poor performance in the adults, the child occupant and the safety assist box. The lack of side airbags, side curtain airbags or side head protection airbags are actually the main responsibles why the adult results was low. Also, the manufacturer denied or basically rejected the possibility of nominating any child seats, so they didn't recommend any child seats. That explains also the poor result for the child occupant protection. And also when it comes to the safety assist box, as the vehicle doesn't have ESC as standard, then that's the reason why the vehicle is penalized with low scoring in the safety assist box. It is also surprising that, knowing that Baleno has optional equipment like side curtain airbags, Latin NCAP asked actually the manufacturer if they can, or if they wanted to, show the performance of this optional equipment in order to show or whether check if they are capable enough of improving the protection that they are showing in the test. And the manufacturer rejected that opportunity from Latin NCAP side, opening the questions whether those systems are effective enough to improve the general safety of the car. When it comes to Toyota Yaris, as a summary, the 1-star result, the reason of the poor result was that the car in the seatbelt reminder on the passenger side, it could not detect certain average weight occupants, which is of course dropping the point or making the Yaris lose the point on the passenger side seatbelt reminder. And at the same time, this vehicle doesn't have any standard side protection systems like side curtain airbags or body airbags or side body airbags, which is of course hitting quite hard in the results, mainly in the adult box. And also when it comes to let's say performance related of those systems, Latin NCAP is aware that those systems are optional, that they are available in the market as optional equipment but not standard. And the other thing is that we are also aware that the manufacturer has been considering having those systems as standard for a long time already, and they haven't decided to move forward. Even more unfortunate is that the reason why this car does not have now this equipment as standard, which we believe should be the case, therefore it was because the Mexican branch of Toyota decided that it's not time to do it right now, that they may do it later in time, and that's the reason why it's not standard. Therefore, this is the result. It's amazing and surprising for us that the decision or the overall decision is not coming more from a headquarters centralized point, rather than a regional manufacturer office that is taking this, in our opinion, very unfortunate decisions, not just because of the result, because it's actually somehow not allowing consumers in Latin America have very basic safety, side impact protection, which is key in all this. This car also showed door opening on the side impact, which is even much, let's say, worse than the previous test that Latin NCAP tested and assessed. Also, Latin NCAP suggested or invited Toyota to test the optional equipment and show the performance, whether if that equipment is going to bring any benefit to the performance and the score that the car already has. And the manufacturer declined to do so, which, in our opinion, in the way as it happened with the Baleno, is raising the questions whether if those systems are effective enough. Usually when they are effective and manufacturer is relaxed and okay, they still move ahead with the test and they still show that optional equipment can do something or can improve safety. In this case, both manufacturers rejected it, and the question is on the table. So as from now, from this result, that will be it from the Latin NCAP side. We thank you very much for joining. We thank you very much for your support. And we are inviting already you to join once again a new publication of results in a few weeks time from now. And we don't want to say goodbye before we acknowledge our main supporters: Towards Zero Foundation, Global NCAP, FIA Foundation, Bloomberg Philanthropies, ICRT, and the Inter-American Development Bank. Bottom line comment is that in Latin NCAP perspective, by this time, side impact protection should be standard for head and body. And this is the main reason why cars are not managing to score more than what we are seeing now. With those systems, those cars will be probably, if the systems are effective enough, in a better result. We understand that's minimum, that should be standard, and no point of discussion further on. Thank you very much, and see you until next time. Bye-bye.